help when you go to Baylor that there are a lot of OU fans there?
Oh, sure. It always helps when when you have a big, section or a big following, no matter where you go.
Is it a comfort zone for players? Why teams play better at home than they do on the road?
Well, possibly. I mean, I'm sure for some it is,
In 2006, you had to kind of go through the same path, at Baylor, at Oklahoma State, and then it was Nebraska in the Big 12 championship. What do you remember about that team and kind of the hard-nosed way they won those games down the stretch to get to the Fiesta Bowl?
Just that we just kept fighting and working, and Paul Thompson was a special, young guy at quarterback that really, pulled us together. And remember true freshman Jermaine Gresham catching that ball off the goal line in the championship game. But we had to fight for everything that year. I remember that year, everywhere we went was a real struggle. But those guys, made the plays and make the difference.
Is DeMarco Murray going to be 100%? And what about Moses Madu played last week and perhaps his role in this upcoming game?
We expect DeMarco to be fine and ready to play. I thought Moses did an excellent job last week and when he was in there and playing, and was excited for him that he did so well. And then we'll see this week, how things go, with the other backs and, in Moses' role.
Can you outline your rotation at defensive tackle now that Adrian is missing?
No. We'll see as the week goes, but, we'll have the same guys in there, plus we worked David King in there last night, and Casey Walker was practicing last night. So hopefully, you knock wood, that everything goes well for Casey here through the week and that he can be added into that rotation.
If it does, how much can you expect
Well, we'll see.
Okay.
It's, we've only had one practice yesterday. It's a light one, so we'll kind of see towards the end of the week how he's feeling.
You got some other guys like Ferris Jeffers work there. David King, just to start, would you feel comfortable getting them out there?
Yeah. Like I said, David's a guy that's, it's a big guy, he's strong. He's got a chance to help us in there like Price Macon has.
Is there any chance that Walker could even get more reps than you might hope because he's fresher? Or would
I think that'll just depend on how he feels as this week goes. It's kind of unknown whether as he goes through practice all week, will that make him sore, or will he feel good and have fresh legs and be ready to go. So I don't know that yet.
How close is Noble of coming back?
It doesn't seem to be that close.
Bob, are you pleased with your physical conditioning? Has that been an issue at all at this point, any point in this season?
I don't believe so. I feel we've been where we need to be.
Your receivers last year were sort of a problem. And going into this season, other than
Sort of.
Yeah, sort of. Now who's cynical? Anyway, but going into the season this year, there's sort of a question mark outside of Ryan, but it seems like they've been very good all the way around.
They've been very good, very consistent, very competitive, and I've complimented on that ever since the beginning of the year as I've seen it. They have really stepped up and have been good and are getting better. The young guys are, doing well, but the older guys have done really well too. Cameron Kinney coming in there has consistently done well. So that's been a big boost. That's really helped.
What about the development of Trey Franks?
Trey's been exciting because he's a guy that has such great speed, and then you look at him, he's put together, he's so strong too. So that's been exciting as well.
Was their poor perimeter blocking against A&M more an aberration? Do you feel that they're
and give them credit. They the way they defended it, and they defeated some blocks and did some things well too. So that they did a nice job with it too.
Has it been a little bit of a surprise how poised your freshmen have been, how mature they seem to be?
It's been pleasing to see how well they've played and handled so many situations. and they don't seem like freshmen. And I guess now that you're 10 games into it, you wouldn't expect them to, but really they're, Trey Millard, it's like he's 25 years old. He walks around, he's together, he's big, he's strong, he's nothing, he runs down on kickoffs, he never gets tired, who is this guy? It's just, you don't see that from a lot of freshmen. It isn't just him, that all of them. Kenny Stills is, Trey has come on that way, and, Tony Jefferson's played the whole year out there and has been fabulous. Goes on and on. Aaron Colvin's that way. I feel as good about Aaron being in the game as anybody, as a corner. So, the guy could keep talking too. There's more of them. So it's exciting, the way these guys are playing, and I'm excited. Some of the ones that are not playing are going to be really good. The way they're practicing and doing things that around the program.
There's a lot of coaches that talk about, well, not a lot, but there's kind of an old tale that you lose a game for every true freshman you have to rely on. I know that's not the case here, but that exuberance or, youthfulness that they have, does that you not have maybe some leadership because you do have so many of those guys participating?
I don't know. The older guys have been good, leaders, and these kids, as I was young guys, freshmen, have acted more mature maybe than their age. So it's been good. It's been chemistry-wise. It's been a fun team to coach. Their habits at practice and meetings, I couldn't ask for more. So that's why it's pleasing to be around them.
Ryan Broyles doesn't practice completely on Thursday. Obviously, his
Or
tender
Monday.
ankles. Well, obviously, his tender ankles are an issue. Any chance you don't run him back on punts? Have you thought about not using him on punt returns?
No. He's too good at it. And I told him late in the game, some of those, the way the game was, just fair catch it. We're good. But he can make a big play there. So that's something that it's too important too.
Bob, it's possible that you've been madder than you were Saturday at Kenny Stills, but I've never seen it. What
Oh, I have been.
you have? Who's made you madder than that?
Ryan Broyles a year ago at Tech, and anytime that has happened. And I'm not going to go into it because Kenny's done too well here all year, and he made a bad choice. And I don't believe those kind of actions are spontaneous in my mind. They're thought of, and I just don't believe it's right. There's a lot of guys, and I'm not talking about Kenny now. I'm talking about that any action that way. To me, is football is the ultimate team sport. Those linemen protected Landry to get that ball off. Landry could not have thrown a better ball into the wind to put it right where it needed to be. Running backs are protecting for him. Or they've been running the football, getting hammered to suck up the safeties to get them behind everybody. So it isn't just you that made a play. If you're a tennis player or a golfer, shoot, you do all you want. But there's a lot of parts to what happened there, and then to force, to have to kick the ball off from the 15-yard line into a 20-some-mile-an-hour north wind is not what you want to do. It just negates the touchdown and gives the other team opportunity to be right back at you.
You say it's thought of. Do they realize they're going to get a 15-yard penalty if they do that?
Sure.
Mark Rick did that one time. Told them to get a penalty when they scored just to get them fired up.
Yeah, you got more guts than me. I haven't had to get our guys fired up usually, and so.
Jumps higher than most basketball players. He seemed to get the crowd fired up. I don't know about teammates.
Yeah, and if they caught the ball in the 30 and ran it back for a touchdown, that'd been real good. So, all right, you guys think of everything after the fact. It worked out great.
I thought it was great at the time.
Well, shoot, I don't know why we don't do it every time we score. What the heck? Let's just.
Bob, when did you decide you'd had enough of the?
The only time I thought it was great, and I loved it, when we won the Holiday Bowl and Clint Ingram intercepted the ball, game over, and he punted it into the stands. I jumped on him. I said, "That's the best," especially because you got to know Clint. But he knew game over, so that's a different deal.
Put you guys down at the 1 yard line.
Yeah. We had to sneak it. And in those days, that wasn't a given either. We dropped about 10 snaps that year, so let's not go back there.
Bob, when did you decide you you were sick enough of the questions of fourth quarter and playing on the road that you decided to, hey, we're not going to talk to the media as much about it. You're only going to talk to these few kids?
That wasn't what I said. I just didn't make everyone available.
I just assumed that's what it was.
Well, you assumed, but that's not the case. I mean, there's just, no, that's not, I had never said anything like that. That doesn't mean anything. I've seen a lot of other coaches do this and not even have this many guys available. Heck, Leach did it for 2 years.
Well, what's the payoff? Well, I mean,
There's just too many messages out there, you know, that's all. I'd rather some older guys have been around, they gotta let them talk. Gives them a little more attention, guys who I think deserve it.
Would you rather
And
them
they're all
tweet?
good players, right? Not like I just gave you a couple guys here.
Would you rather them tweet?
No,
You have any rules against that?
not yet. But other than no team business on there. All right?